Hello, Gun Nation. Big Johnson coming at you. All right, we've got an exciting episode of Tabletop to the Range. And in this episode, we're going to be talking about the Shadow System CR920XP. I've been very slimline curious. I've had a love-hate relationship with slimline type guns. However, with this having the comp and the longer grip and my XXL hands, I was like, this may be the one. So I don't know, but we're going to test it. Shadow Systems was gracious enough to send this in for a sample gun. I'm going to be shooting the hell out of it. I'm going to be carrying it. I'm going to be doing all this after it proves itself out. So if you like information like this, please like, share, and subscribe. Hit that alert bell. I really appreciate that so much. But let's get into what I've done to it. I have put the EPS carry on here. This is the 2 MOA edition, not the multi-reticle. And I did purchase it from Primary Arms on a really great sale. So I did go ahead and I put the front spacer in. This is the plus spacer as recommended by Shadow Systems. Also, I did put their screws in and I torqued them. It says you can go between 10 and 20 inch-pounds. I chose 16 inch-pounds and marked them. So if it moves, we'll be able to check it. So glad about that. Also, I'm running the TLR7X sub from Streamlight, and this is the Glock model. So, and I've been working with Streamlight for quite a while, so they were gracious enough to send this in. And the reason I really like these in the 7A models, a lot of these you can change the switches out. So some come with a high and low selection, so you can push this pin and change the switches out. Some people say, well, that's kind of crazy. But for a big-handed person, it's actually beneficial for me. On this side, I run the regular switch. However, on the trigger finger side, I run the low switch. And you might ask, why the hell do you do that? So I can have more trigger guard with the glove, with my big fingers. The switch, you can see as it is on the other side here, it kind of hangs out. So if I had this one, it would hang out here, which would take away some of the trigger guard. So that's why I really love running an opposite switch. I've done this on other guns and I've really enjoyed it, so I decided to go ahead and do it on this one, and it's no different. I like it. So, and it still allows you to press here with your trigger finger like that, and it illuminates. Over here you can press here, or you can ride it high with your thumb on the light, and you can activate it from right here in kind of your joint area. So, you know, if you want a little leverage, you can use the light as such, or you can ride the light up high if you have big hands like me, as like a leverage point. But really been excited to try this out, got my hands on it, really like it. Another thing that I did do is I did purchase 3 additional mags from Shadow Systems. So we have 3 additional 15 round mags. So we have a total of 5. So I'll shoot 5, 10, 15 and load in between. I am bringing my mag loader so I can load super quick because I don't want the gun to cool down. I want to keep it running hot. Exactly. Or, you know, that's what I want to do. Also, I'm going to be shooting fast to see if it stovepipes, if it chokes, whatever. It says it does have a 200 round break-in, so that's why I brought 217 rounds. So we're going to go over that. You're going to see everything in this video, goods, bads, whatever happens, you're going to see it. So let's get to the range and quit talking. Let's head out. Hello, Gun Nation. Big Johnson coming at you here from Texas Gun Experience, home away from home. Do have the Shadow System CR920XP here. So as you'll see it, it does have the Streamlight TLR7X sub. So that is a multi powered light. It can take the CR123s or the rechargeable battery. So this is pretty awesome. I do have the HoloSun EPS, I'm sorry, carry. And this is just the 2 MOA dot version. It doesn't have the multi-reticle, and I am pointing this down range. It's completely unloaded. These are going to be the very first shots that I'm going to be shooting through it. I have loaded up 5 mags, and these are all 124 Browning ammo. I'll show you here the card. I'm going to be shooting about 217 rounds today. It's the 124, and this one is, the velocity on this one is 1140 at the muzzle. That's what it's claiming. So I did cut this out of the box so you could see it. I'm going to break it in with 124. This could run, it might not, but I think it has a better shot of breaking in properly versus 115 grain. So, and I got a whole bag of it. I actually counted it out. This was a 150 round box, and then I added the rest. So it comes out to like 217 rounds. I'm going to be running today through this. So I'm going to do 5, and then, you know, load up whatever I have so that's left over. But
So far, with dry firing and just playing around with it at home, it seems to be, pretty cool. The trigger, it's not the best in the world, but, I haven't broken it in. It doesn't have any wear on it. I haven't shot it. This is going to be the very first shot. So I'm excited to actually try this out. So thank you so much, Shadow Systems, for sending this to me so I can test it out for y'all. But, seems to be pretty legit. I took the dot and I kind of slaved it to the irons, so because I haven't shot it, so I haven't dialed the dot in 100%. We'll see how that goes. Could get better, whatever. But I was going to kind of shoot it, slave it to it, so I could kind of co-witness it. So I've got it kind of a little above the front dot, so we'll see how that goes since it is 124. But I'm just going to send it out to 7 yards. We'll get the first, 5 mags through it, and then I'll cut in more mags. So. And at the end of it, we'll see how it goes. So, here we go. Again, just sending it to 7 yards. But been excited to try this thing out. So, glad I was able to make it here today. Okay, it's a full mag, and it actually went in pretty well. Loading the last mag, or loading the last round was a little tight. Not that that's a bad thing, but I was using the thumb a couple times, and then I was like, oh, hell with it. I used the Magalola. So I went ahead and loaded these 5 at home so we'd have those ready to go first. So, yep, definitely tight to racket for sure. So let's just get the first shots on. Yep. Okay. So it ejected, but it was a failure to feed. Yep. Yep, I can see it right there. So we'll stuff it back in there and keep going. I figured I was going to have something, and this is not NATO. So I have NATO, I just couldn't find it. So first one failed. Okay, I think we're okay. Okay. Didn't lock back, so I'm wondering if I'm riding that slide on the side. It could be. So really only one failure and one failure to lock back, but I'm wondering if that might be me. So I'll have to check the side there. Slide is definitely tight to rack. That worked perfectly and locked back, and I didn't change my grip. And again, I know it has to break in. Hopefully this mic's working pretty good. I've got this new mic, and there is someone in here shooting a boomstick, so. Check the mic, yep, it racked. Yeah, she's getting a little warm. So that's the third mag. Here's number 4. Smoking. So that was number 4. Here's number 5. Then I'll have to cut. We'll load up again and keep going. So far, only that one very first hiccup. So, not bad. Okay, didn't lock back, so I'm about to hit the slide release there. I'm kind of known for that with my big ass hands. So that was 5 mags, and only the one failure and the 2 slide not locking back, but that could have been me. So I'm not going to blame it on that. But yeah, she's definitely smoking. Let's load these up and get back to it. Stand by. All right, we're going to go ahead and continue. We're going to do 6, 7, 8, 9, and number 10. So this will be number 6. So let me send this target back out. Again, the dot is not lined up. And I did mark it. It has not moved. You can see the marks. Still perfect after the first 5 mags. Slide is still very tight. Just going to see how well the dot is dialed in. Just going to turn it down a little bit. Yeah, dot's not dialed in very well, but it ran that mag perfectly. So here's number 7. So far, we've only had that one hiccup in the first mag. Damn, this thing is getting hot. It's very hot. I mean, yeah, the slide is hot. It's very hot. And I haven't let it cool down while I loaded those mags real quickly. So now we're on to mag 8. Probably rolled the slide again. Didn't lock back. Probably me. I got big old hands, and I'm sure I'm riding the slide lock. Now we're on number 9. She's a smoke show. Woo! Yeah, it's hot. I might even have to let this bad boy cool down a little bit. She's a smoking. Now this is number 10. Ran it perfectly and locked back. All right, let's run some more. I got to load them up. Stand by. All right, here we go with 11 through 15. The last mag has, it's not completely full because I'm running a total of 217 rounds. So here we go. Optic is still really tight after 10 rounds. So here's number 11. Worked correctly and locked back. Here's number 12. Locked back and worked correctly. She's smoking. They're shooting 50 cal in here if you didn't hear it. So number 13. Damn, it's getting hot. correctly and locked back. Here's number 14. These are 15 round mags. Worked perfectly and locked back and smoking like hell. Here's the last mag, and it's got however many in it that came out to 217 rounds. The dot is not completely dialed in, but I'm keeping pretty good accuracy. The comp is definitely working too. And worked perfectly. So there is 217 rounds. God damn, this thing, holy shit. I'm telling you, I could fry bacon on this. I'm not even joking. Yeah, it's hot as shit. But 217 rounds and 1 failure. That was the very, very, very first round. And I started out with 124, not 115. So there's the bag. I counted out 217 because I had a 150 round pack, and then I had the rest was left in here, and I counted those, and that was the Browning full metal jacket 124, and it was 1140 velocity at the muzzle, and then at 7 or 5 yards it was like 1130. So it wasn't quite NATO, but I mean the mags worked flawlessly. I ran them all 3 sets of 15 or whatever you mean, so far it's working great. This gun is still, I don't know how well you can see it, it's still got smoke coming off of it, but it's freaking hot. Is the trigger that great? No. And it's a small trigger, so I kind of catch myself hooking the trigger, but I already ran one target. It would look like Swiss cheese, so I just did another one real quick. Dropped a couple. Like I said, this isn't centered. I'm going to have to raise it up some because I'm actually aiming here and it's dropping them here. So I need to raise the dot up and probably a little bit right. I just slaved it to the irons because I hadn't shot it yet. And I brought my adjustment tool and everything, but I don't even know if I'm going to do it today because the gun is freaking hot. I mean, that was 5, 5, and 5 pretty damn quickly. I loaded them pretty fast, believe it or not, because I used my Magnolia. So I was showering through those reloads pretty damn fast. But do I like the gun so far? Yeah, I actually do. Is it small? Yeah, it's still small for me. Is it controllable? Yeah, I mean, I could control it. I just need to dial the dot in a little bit more, kind of get used to the trigger a little bit more. But I think after these 217 rounds, it was a really good break-in. I think, hell, 1 failure out of 217 rounds, the very first rounds, and it was the very first mag and very first cartridge that I had a problem with. So I would call that pretty good so far. We're going to keep going. This is going to be a long-term test. I'm going to carry it. I'm going to do a bunch of stuff with it, so please follow along. If you would like to, like, share, and subscribe. I appreciate y'all as always. Thanks for watching. And remember, an unarmed nation's a very weak nation, so we all got to carry on.